If you are enjoying Unity of Kona, consider making a monthly donation to our ministry. And if we can help you with any spiritual needs, whether through prayer support, continuing education, or other assistance, please contact us at unityofkona@gmail.com. Thank you. Our service will begin in just a few moments. We appreciate our viewers participating in the online discussion taking place on our Facebook page at facebook.com/unityofkona. Feel free to share this link with your friends on your timeline. Thank you.
As we start the day with a prayer, say thank you, God, for all the blessings and performing the service. Let it reach everyone it's supposed to reach. Ho my, ho my, ho my, ho mai ka iki mai luna mai, ona mea huna no au e mele ho my, ho my, ho my. Ho mai ka iki mai luna mai ona mea huna no awe mele ho mai ho mai ho mai ho mai ka iki mai luna mai ona mea huna no awe mele Hele hoi akala o Malka o Kona. Hele hoi o Makai, wherever you come from on the mainland, all over the world. Welcome, Unity Church of Kona. And what a beautiful Sunday morning here in Kailua, Kona, Hawaii. Thank you for joining us. And as we get started with our service, as we are a prayer ministry, we'll start with some prayer. As we take a moment, we pray. And as I continue to world peace, contribute to world peace, then I will join in spirit with all people who dedicate themselves to expressing divine love. United in the belief that God is within everyone, I affirm the divinity of humankind and honor each person as a unique expression of God. I recognize and release any unkind thoughts or feelings towards any person or group of people. I respect all others and seek to learn more about the customs and beliefs that are familiar, unfamiliar, and as I grow in a spirit of kinship. I believe a warm, friendly attitude communicates my intentions as effectively as my words. And I smile easily and extend myself to others in a spirit of friendship. I remain mindful that as peace flowers between individuals, peace grows in the world. And so it is. Amen. Well, thank you for joining us here this morning. And as we get started with the service, I'd like to please ask you all to stand as we do our affirmation for the month. And the affirmation, imagination. Together, I unleash my power of imagination and allow it to follow freely through me. I am unlimited. And so it is. And as long as we're standing, let's do our opening song, Stand Together. As we get some singers on board, we'll have the little dancing tune going on. Here we go.
Something great is happening, love has taken hold and it won't let go of us now. Something here is calling us forward, upward motions, we're drops in one ocean, roll on. Will you rise up with me today? Lift up your voice and boldly say, we are the ones we've been waiting for. Live your dream, your eye is calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share gifts with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. Whoa. Every day's a chance you can do something amazing, to feel your passion blazing and shine. Paint with every vision and dance in new directions, explode to new heights in your mind. I will rise up with you today, lift up my voice and boldly say, we are the ones we've been waiting for. Live a dream of our highest calling, be the hope of the new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share gifts with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. Whoa. One dream, one voice, one heart, one world, one dream, one voice, one heart, and one world. Stand together, one dream, stand, and one voice, stand, and one heart, stand, and one world. Stand together. Live a dream of the highest calling, be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share gifts for the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now.
And as we're all standing together, please reach over and give a fist bump or an elbow nudge to somebody in the area, in the group here. And if you're joining us online, leave us a comment on the Facebook Live so we can formally greet all of our guests and visitors with a great big together aloha, and God bless you. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful Sunday morning. We get spoiled here in Kailua, Kona, Hawaii. It's just every day is so beautiful. Started out with a little refreshing rain this morning, and it just cleared the air, and another beautiful day in the neighborhood. I can use that line, can't I? Yeah, okay. Well, as we are, a few things to start off with, and we are a prayer ministry. So we'd like to ask you to download the You Pray app. You can download it to your iPhone, Android, and any way you want to. You actually have the power of prayer at your fingertips. And as we all know, prayer works in our lives. By downloading this, you can receive immediate responses from Silent Unity. In addition, you can listen to short meditations and view many different affirmations. You can also call the church if you care for prayer support. We have prayer chaplains on board, answer the phone calls when they get the messages, so please be patient with us on the phones. But the number is 808-322-0885. Or you can send us a prayer request via the Unity of Kona at gmail.com and just put in their prayer request on that. Send us an email, and we'll also always pray over those requests here at the church and then send them on to Silent Unity for 30 days of continuous prayer. So we all know that prayer works in our lives, so let's utilize the tools that we have. Got a couple more announcements. I need to get rid of some stuff, though. Cluttered up here. It's all good. Never turn your back on the audience. Those simple rules, right? And so a couple more announcements as we get into our service this morning. We have the Team Member of the Month. Congratulations, Virginia Holiday. Thank you, Virginia. And much mahalos for all the loving service and devotion for our ministry. We are so blessed to have both you and Doc here at the Unity of Kona. So mahalos, and you've been members for many years, and you stood strong, providing a firm foundation for our church, and freely giving of your time, talent, love, gifts, efforts, ideas, talents. It goes on, the list. We all love you so much, Virginia, and we are so grateful for your presence. Thank you, Virginia. And let's see, too. Last Monday was birthday Sunday. They got birthday Sunday again on this one. Oh, yeah. Okay, mention the birthdays again. Happy extended birthday wishes. It's a birthday month for everybody in the month of June. And so we'd like to actually acknowledge all our ohana, Joan Colley, Joe Castro, Bonnie Stein, Terry Brown, Keith Higaki, and Barbara Ulberg, Jeannie Carey, Jim Nugent. Hey, Jim, where are you? We need to see you back. Happy birthday, though, everybody. Ole laha now. Happy birthdays. I have an important notice for team members. We're looking for some help up here at this, filling in during the time of vacation coming up July and August. So this summer, the AV team will be on vacation and off island during the same weekends. And so we need team members. This means you, if you would please step up and volunteer to learn and operate the video equipment while we're all off island. And if you know of any use, if you do know how to use an iPad or a computer at all, then you're 90% the way of doing this. So we really appreciate your help. You can contact Patrick or Craig. We'll easily help show everybody what's going on. And since the broadcast will be a very important part of our ministry, it is imperative that we maintain this online presence during our absences. And so please help during this time. If you need, contact the church through the Unity of Kona at gmail.com, or you can give us a call at 808-322-0885. And so as soon as possible, and one of the board members know that you're willing to cover for them would surely greatly be appreciated. We also are welcoming team members for doing the singing, playing music, greeting, platform assistance, reading the daily word, and audiovisual. And so if you're interested in helping any of these areas, contact the church, unityofkona@gmail.com, and put in the subject line, team member. And so we sure appreciate your assistance and your willingness to help. We are staying the course with our Sunday services following required guidelines with social distancing, seating arrangements, properly wearing the masks that cover the nose. And we are continuing to take temperatures, obtaining signed release forms, and requesting that all socializing take place outside the church sanctuary. And so it's like we appreciate you bearing with us through these times as we continue to navigate these challenging things, and we reserve the right to make any necessary changes as the situation changes. The board of directors here wants to keep everybody safe, and while also allowing as much as possible for our church ohana to safely see one another out at the church here. And so please join us at the church. The church is open, so we just need more people to come back. It's all right, my friends. No fear. Come back. It's all good. So we got I think that covers pretty much everything. The online services will be broadcast via the Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch, and LinkedIn. So remember to join the virtual social hour immediately after the service today. The Zoom link will be provided on the Facebook Unity Facebook page, and the comment section towards the end of the service. And so that is my announcements for today. And as we move further into the service, it's time for our daily word. And I've asked Clyde, but he said Chris will do it. So this is all good. We got you guys. Come on up and share the daily word with us.
Good morning. So, world peace. And our phrase for today is peace shared between people spreads throughout the world. I contribute to world peace when I join in spirit with all people. I can't see. Okay, I'll put it up here. Great. I contribute to world peace when I join in spirit with all people who dedicate themselves to expressing divine love, united in the belief that God is within everyone. I affirm the divinity of humankind and honor each person as a unique expression of God. I recognize and release any unkind thoughts or feelings toward any person or group of people. I respect all others and seek to learn more about customs and beliefs that are unfamiliar to me as I grow in a spirit of kinship. I believe a warm, friendly attitude communicates my intentions as effectively as my words. I smile easily and extend myself to others in a spirit of friendship. I remain mindful that as peace flowers between individuals, peace grows in the world. From Micah, nation shall not lift up swords against nation. neither shall they learn war anymore. Okay.
So it is.
So if you'll say the phrase with me, peace shared between people spreads throughout the world. So be it.
Yes, and so it is. World peace. Now's the time in our service where we'll visualize the sanctuary. So take a moment, rest your eyes. And as we take this time to visualize the sanctuary of your soul, take a deep breath and see this sanctuary as a beautiful heart. Feel the loving energy of those around you flowing in and through you. And as you see the loving energy flowing around every person, every being on this earth and in this world. And if you know of anyone in your life or in this world in need of prayer, let's all see them in the center of this most beautiful heart. As together we say the prayer for protection. For the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. And the presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. And so it is. World peace. Amen. We have music with Dondi before we get started with our service. Thank you, Dondi.
Aloha, everyone. What a wonderful world. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, clouds of white, bright blessed day, dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry. I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I sing to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I sing to myself, what a wonderful world.
And so it is, a wonderful world. Thank you there very much, Dondi. We really appreciate your music, time, and talent. Now I get my opportunity, blessed to be able to introduce our Reverend Sophia Falke, who's doing our talk today. So Reverend Sophia Falke thinks that you are amazing, And that's what she says to anyone who will listen to her. Reverend Sophia was senior minister at the Unity Churches of Las Vegas, Nevada, and the greater Boston, Massachusetts area. She currently has an alternative ministry called Embracing Greatness International Unity through Unity Worldwide Ministries, where she offers coaching, seminars, audio, and written inspiration. Reverend Sophia embraces the concept of greatness as an inherent presence in every one of us and invites you to embrace your greatness and express or press out that greatness. To be a beacon and inspiration to raise up all of humanity. This year, she's celebrating her 20th year as an ordained Unity minister and can't imagine anything other than being a minister and teaching and demonstrating Unity principles. So it's my honor and our honor to welcome Reverend Sophia Falke. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, am I on? Cool. I've been watching on my other computer. Hello, everyone. Everybody, wave. Thank you. All right. There was a mother who was a little concerned because it was starting to thunder and lightning outside, and her 7-year-old daughter, Nikki, was walking home from school. So she thought, I'm going to go out and meet her halfway. Excuse me. And as she turned the corner and she saw her daughter coming down the street, every time there was a lightning bolt, the little girl stopped and stood up and smiled. And then she continued walking. And finally she saw her mother coming toward her, and excitedly she ran over and she proclaimed, "Isn't it wonderful? God was taking my picture." Now, the little girl's imagination was, it was wonderful and joyful and how much fun. God's taking my picture. And the mother was concerned that her daughter was going to be frightened and get drenched in the rain. The two had very different imaginations, didn't they? So what happens when your imagination goes in a strange direction? You know, just like the mother and daughter, we have the power to imagine what we create in our worlds. We can create something positive, or we can create something not so good. It's a choice. So my question is, what kind of choices do you want to make in your life? Something I ask myself in the mirror every morning. What do you choose for today? Now you can create a fun, fulfilling, fruitful life that's filled with love and excitement, or you can create one that is filled with fear and lack and limitation and doubt. That's kind of scary, isn't it? You know, which do you choose? Now you're sitting here in the Unity Church, so you've chosen a path that follows truth principles. But even those of us who are students of truth, we get sidetracked every once in a while. Now, do you know people who are constantly living in their history? And maybe you do a little bit. I know that happens to me once in a while. When they think they failed or made poor choices, when they think they haven't been loved or are loving, when they think they've suffered terribly in their life. It's rough when they live in that history. And it can be difficult to break free of that kind of history and those memories, especially if they're implanted during your early years, before you're 5 years old, because that's when most of our patterns are implanted in our subconscious. And that subconscious will dominate our conscious actions. until we take control. Because if you live your life out of your memories and your history, you're dwelling in what once was, not, and what you thought was true. Okay, so the thing about memories, and you probably know this, is they come from your subconscious. And your subconscious is inundated with millions, even billions of bits of information every second. Far more, thousands of times more than your conscious mind is able to decipher. However, the subconscious mind is simply a receptacle for all of this information. It doesn't discern whether it's right or wrong. It doesn't discern if it's accurate, if it's true, if it's something that has been implanted in you that never happened. It has no power to make that discernment. However, it stores them away, and if the programming has been negative or stressful for much of your life, that's where your conscious mind is going to go when you have choices to make in your life. So that the past is a very dangerous place to live. Do you agree? Wave if you agree. Thank you. Thank you. Good. You know, it can hold you back. It can take you down, mislead you, and prevent you from living a fulfilling, joyful, prosperous, expansive life. Yet, if you live in your imagination, you live out of your potential, or you live from your potential. You live into your potential. You begin to establish the life you would love living today. But what holds you back? Motivational speaker Les Brown says, fear, limited vision, and lack of self-esteem are what keep most people from doing what they want to do. I'm sure you know people who have that come up for themselves. They have those stories going on in their heads. I'm not good enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not rich enough, educated enough. They have been bombarded with messages telling them how lacking they are. If you're like me, it's happened in your life too. Now, I love, what other people tell you very often can shape your life. Les Brown tells a story about when he was in high school. And he went into a classroom looking for a friend of his who wasn't there. And the class actually had already begun. And the teacher saw him at the door and he said, hey, you, come over here and do this problem on the board. And Les looked over at the teacher and he said, I can't do that, sir. I'm not in your class. The teacher looked at him, well, do it anyway. And Les Brown started, walking over to the board very cautiously, and there was a tittering going on amongst the other students. And the teacher looked around and said, why are you laughing? And one of the boys in the back of the class said, well, you see, sir, that's Leslie. He's the DT. What do you mean the DT? So you see, sir, his brother's the smart one. Leslie's the dumb twin. And little Les Brown looked over at the teacher and he said, yes, sir, I am. With which the teacher came from around his desk and he looked down at Les Brown and he said, don't ever say that again. Someone's opinion of you doesn't have to become your reality. Someone's opinion of you doesn't have to become your reality. Now, many of you are familiar with Les Brown. He's famous. He has transformed lives all over the world. And yet, when he was a junior in high school, he thought he was the dumb twin. That teacher made such a difference in his life. So are you allowing someone else's opinion to hold you back? It can be very subtle. Think about it. Is there something you want to do and people say, it's not such a good idea. Oh, the timing's not right. There's a lot of that conversation going on in the world. There's a great video clip that shows how Lucille Ball, Walt Disney, Thomas Edison, Abraham Lincoln, and other famous and successful people were told they would never make it. Yet they each had a dream, passion, and courage, and they took action toward their dream. They created their own reality, despite what other people said about them or said to them. So what kind of reality do you want to create? Start thinking about that, because when we go into meditation, we'll do a little bit of imagining. According to Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore, with our imagination, we lay hold of ideas and clothe them with substance. The body is the product of the mind. What man pictures or imagines in his mind will eventually appear in his body. And when Fillmore is talking about body, I believe he is referring to the whole of what humankind has created. You know, the chair you're sitting in was first held in someone's imagination. You know, the pictures on your wall, they came from someone's imagination. That you can fly from Hawaii to the mainland in a few hours versus weeks that it took the old ships to sail was because someone imagined an airplane centuries ago. And you know, the lights that illumine the world and the Unity of Kona Sanctuary, they were first created in someone's imagination. Thomas Edison, who is credited in being the first, credited with making the first viable light bulb in America, had a larger vision. He wanted to establish a nationwide network of electrical grids because of his vision and imagination. People in every home, not just the rich, could illumine their houses. It's because he had a broader vision. He wasn't just inventing a light bulb. He was creating a network that would bless the world. Edison said, if we all did the things we are really capable of doing, we would literally astound ourselves. Let me say that again. If we all did the things we are really capable of doing, we would really astound ourselves. In Isaiah 54:2, God tells the Israelites to enlarge the site of your tent and let the curtains of your habitation be stretched out. Do not hold back. Lengthen your cords and strengthen your stakes. I love this passage. Enlarge the site of your tent. Expand your imagination. Let the curtain of your habitation be stretched out. Just stretch back the curtain of your conscious mind and what you think is possible. Lengthen your cords. Go beyond what you think you can do. Go beyond what you think is possible. And strengthen your stakes. Make a firm foundation for your dream by strengthening it in faith. So between the ages of birth and 5, you are programmed for what you can and cannot do, what you should believe, how you should act, who you should trust, what your worth is, and so on. That programming is so strong, you unconsciously act within the parameters of how you've been programmed. But you're not 5 anymore. You have the power of imagination to create something better for you and for your loved ones. And as I said before, you can create the life you would love. It could be fun, fulfilling life, or not. It's your choice. Look at your life right now. Are you satisfied with it? Better yet, do you love the life you're living right now? Okay, yes, I know you're living in a paradise, and yet you still have the challenges that we all do. So, have you, is there something else for you to do? And I believe that every life at every stage, no matter your age or your position, your relationships, or your finances, I believe that life is expansive. There's always something greater for you to do. So let's take a few minutes now and start imagining. So I invite you to sit back in your chair, relax, close your eyes, and imagine. Ask yourself, what would I love if money, time, my physical health, where I live, my relationships, my knowledge, my job, and so on. What if there were nothing holding me back? Breathe deeply and allow yourself to expand your imagination beyond the limits. And so if you had no barriers, ask yourself, what would I love in my relationships? Going in, breathing deeply. Answer that question now. The next area of your life. What would I love in my physical, emotional, and spiritual health? Again, going within, breathing deeply. Answer that question now. What would I love in my physical, emotional, and spiritual health? Next, ask yourself, what would I love in my work of creative expression? And finally, what kind of time and money freedom would I want? Dream expansively. Now clearly imagine that you already have what you just imaged, that you have reached your goals, you've achieved your good dreams. What does life look like? How does it feel, taste, smell? What does it look like? What sounds are there in that life? Claim it as if it's already happened. I am so happy and grateful now that I. Now hold the feeling that has come up for you with this beautiful new image for your life. Anchor it in your subconscious mind, again, as if it has already happened. And now as you turn to this time and this place, slowly open your eyes, knowing that you are already the person living that life. Are you back with me? How did that feel? Shout it out. Thank you. Anybody else? Muted? Okay. All right. So did you feel a little bit expansive? Was there any exhilaration or was there peace in your heart? It's like, wow, this is what I wanted. Joy? Was it perhaps even a little scary? No, or they're jumping off a diving board. I love it. One reason this exercise of imagination is so effective is that the subconscious mind is not governed by the same rules of time as the conscious mind is. In fact, time doesn't exist in the subconscious. So you are programming the image of life, of the life you have imagined, into your subconscious as if it has already happened. You get that? You've already started the process. You are already living that life. And because you've begun that programming. I don't know how we ever communicated before computers, but when you started that programming into your subconscious, it is there to support you because you have been so clear in your direction to the subconscious. So anytime your conscious mind starts to have doubts, do yes, but, oh, I can't possibly, and the history, those stories start to come up. Because you have so strongly programmed your subconscious mind, it will tell your conscious mind, oh, no, you've got this. It's already happened. You are already the person living that life. Get moving. Do you get that? So it's wonderful that we've gone through this exercise of imaging in our minds. The next step is you need to write it down. Because our minds are strange little creatures, because it's like monkey mind. The Buddhists call it monkey mind. In my book, I call it mental mischief. The thoughts are going from bouncing all around, and unless we grab them and state them in writing, they can keep challenging us. Say, "Oh no, it's not possible. It's not possible," or we'll get distracted. So write it down. When you get home, write it down and read it in the morning. Read it at night, and see how you've become the person that's living that life. And don't worry about whether or not you know how just yet. As Albert Einstein said, imagination is more important than knowledge, for knowledge is limited. Whereas imagination embraces the entire world, stimulating progress and giving birth to evolution. That means once you have that clear vision, created from your imagination, and commit to it, all manner, well, you'll be let me slow down. I get so excited, I trip over my tongue. So once you have a clear vision, created from your imagination, and once you commit to it, you'll begin thinking, speaking, and acting as a person already living that life. And the universe will rush to you all manner of unforeseen resources and circumstances that you would never have thought possible. Enlarge the site of your tent. Let the curtains of your habitations be stretched out. Do not hold back. Lengthen your cords and put a stake, strengthen your stakes. Put that stake in the ground, anchored by faith, that you've just imagined is now coming true. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you so much, Reverend Sophia.
Thank you.
What an honor and a blessing it is to have you all the way from Las Vegas. So I hope,
yes.
Yes.
Where it'll be 116 this week.
Well, I won't tell you how nice it is here.
Come visit.
Yeah, I got to come visit you too. You're going to come visit us shortly, I think. So welcome. We're looking excited for your visit.
Thank you. I look forward to it. I'm excited.
All right. So, my friends, thank you so much, Reverend Sophia. Another round of applause. And now is the time where we'd like to take your gifts and offerings, and we'll do our offertory prayer. Almost there. So it gives you a moment to get it together. There's a box in a tray in the back of the sanctuary, and there's also a prayer request box. So if you have any prayer requests, please fill out a slip it in the prayer request box, and leave your tithing offerings in the back bowl at the back table. There are many ways you can donate. You're online. You can hit the button, donate now. You can look at us up on unityofkona@gmail.com. And there's also a place, unityofkona.org, I believe, is another place. But there's many ways, and I'll be posted on the board here. Here we go, our offertory statement. So as you hold your hands, say with me, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am abundantly prosperous in every way, and so it is. Thank you. And now we have a little more music coming in from Dondi as he gets prepared for a little bit, something lively maybe. We'll see what happens. Thank you, Dondi.
You know, there's a lot of times that we meet people and say, oh, I've been there before, or I did that. And we always say, man, it's a small world, isn't it? It really is. So.
I like the song too.
It's a world of laughter, a world of fears. It's a world of hope and a world of fears. There's so much that we share, and it's time we're aware it's a small world after all. 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 It's a small, small world. There is just one moon and one golden sun, and a smile means friendship to everyone. Though the mountains divide and the oceans are wide, it's a small world after all. It's a small world after all.
And it truly is. And as we hold these thoughts and prayers in our hand, we'll bless our offerings. As we know through Spirit, we know that as we give, so shall we receive. As we now dedicate and consecrate these gifts to do your will in your work in this world, in our lives, in this ministry, say thank you, God. And so it is. So as we get ready to do our closing songs, let there be peace on earth and aloha oi. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us here today, and tune back next week. Please feel free to tell your friends and family about the Facebook event, as the services will remain viewable on the Facebook Unity Kona Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and LinkedIn. Next Sunday service, we have Kayla Harvey, our own Kayla. And so her topic will be honoring fathers and cultivating divine masculinity. Yeah. So we take the time to reflect on and honor our fathers, as well as our masculine energy in all of our lives. So just like Spirit, we have both divine masculine and divine feminine energy. This Sundays we will be exploring the facets of divine masculinity and ways to cultivate these traits within masculine. Musician next week will be Neil Barnett. So please join us after the service for the virtual social hour. Some singers on board as we do our closing songs. Circle around, my friends, as we hold the light for the week.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
As we imagine world peace and love in our lives, until we meet again, aloha oe.
Aloha oe, aloha oe, eke ono no ikalipo. One fond embrace, ahoy, until we meet again.
Hui ho and aloha. Come back next week. We'll see you again for sure. And we got a little exit music from Dondi. Thank you, Dondi.
It's no secret. It's no secret that we love the ukulele. It's a passion we can't deny, and the reason's clearly written on our faces, and we'd be happy to tell you why. Can't help but smile, can't help but smile, when we play the ukulele. Can't help but smile, can't help but sing, can't help but strum, can't help but feel we're on some Hawaiian isle. So fun, so fun, when we all play together as one, and life is good for a while. Can't help but sing, can't help but drum, can't help but smile, when it seems as if the world is on your shoulders. Your skies are gloomy, you're feeling blue. This is one thing that we're sure to bring the sun out. So won't you join us and smile too? Can't help but smile, can't help but smile, when we play the ukulele. Can't help but smile, can't help but sing, can't help but strum, can't help but feel we're on some Hawaiian isle. So fun, when we all play together as one, and life is good for a while. Can't help but sing, can't help but strum, can't help but smile, can't help but sing, can't help but strum, can't help but smile. Yeah.
Good job, Donnie.